Alright guys, so I'm here with the last prediction game video for Survivor Series 2013, and as always, I end it with the kickoff. So it is going to be The Miz versus Kofi Kingston. And this is actually Kofi Kingston's second kickoff matchup in a row since he had a kickoff match on the last pay-per-view, which was Hell in a Cell. It was Damien Sandow versus Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston lost that matchup, and I also think he's going to lose this kickoff match against The Miz. Well, first off, this matchup is taking place because of The Miz turning his back, or turning on Kofi Kingston, when they teamed up on Raw to face off against, I think it was the Real Americans actually, and The Miz just got off the apron when Kofi Kingston was about to tag him in, just stood there like right in front of the ring next to the barricade as Jack Swagger locked in the Patriot Lock on Kofi Kingston, and Kofi Kingston tapped out with The Miz not attempting to break it up or anything. And then I think it was on Main Event or something like that, The Miz kind of distracted Kofi Kingston in the matchup and cost him the match. Kofi Kingston drop kicked The Miz. So while this matchup is kind of last minute, it's still, you know, there's still a little bit of build to it, just a little bit. And as far as why I think The Miz is gonna win this, really the biggest reason, and probably the only reason or alleged reason I can't give, is the fact that The Miz just turned heel on Raw. And when superstars either turn heel or faces, when they do, they kind of need a big victory, or, you know, not necessarily, doesn't need to be a big victory, but they need to start it off good. They need to start it off with a win. For example, The Miz, when he turned, I was gonna try and give an example for Kofi, but Kofi's never turned face or turned heel. He's always been a face. But when it comes to The Miz, when he turned face, right away he was involved in a big matchup at Survivor Series, teaming up with Randy, I believe, and a couple other superstars. And although I think he was eliminated in that matchup, he did pretty well. I think he was one of the last two remaining or something like that. Well, he wasn't, he got eliminated, but I think he was one of the last two in the matchup, and his team ended up winning. Now, with The Miz going back to being a heel, which, by the way, I'm all for it. I'm happy they're turning The Miz heel again, because face Miz was just, to be honest with you, I thought it was terrible. It just, I don't know, he was boring as a face. He was really boring as a face. While when The Miz was a heel, you know, I was actually entertained by The Miz. But for some reason, it just, to me, in my opinion, it didn't work out as a face, and I think that's why they're turning him back heel so soon. It's been what, maybe a year? I think it was Survivor Series last year where The Miz turned face, actually. Well, he turned face a couple weeks before Survivor Series, so he can be in the Survivor Series matchup or on the face team. And yeah, right now, like, I think it was a week before Survivor Series, he turns heel. So so it's pretty much like exactly a year, or almost, where, you know, The Miz was a face, and I did not like it. It just wasn't. It wasn't, I don't know, my cup of tea. Well, it wasn't. I didn't like The Miz as a heel. I mean, as a face. Sorry, I did like The Miz as a heel, and it's gonna be interesting to see where he goes from here, what he does next after he beats Kofi Kingston, which I think he will at Survivor Series. Who's he gonna move on to? Is he gonna chase championship gold? If so, what championship? Maybe the Intercontinental Championship, maybe Biggie Langston, or is he gonna try and go for like the World Heavyweight Championship or something like that? Who knows? Maybe he won't even be in the title, you know, contention scene for a while. But bottom line, I'm just interested and looking forward to seeing what happens next with The Miz now that he's a heel. Who's he gonna feud with? What is he gonna do? Is there gonna be like a slight, you know, character change from before, when he was a heel before? You know, there's a lot of things to look forward to in that. And it's just, yeah, it's good to have the Miz back as a heel. Because, like I said, Miz as a face. I didn't like it. I liked it maybe for the first couple of weeks, and then afterwards it was just downhill from there. So, that is it for my detailed prediction. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, you can click that like button down below. I'd really appreciate it. And with that said, I'm out, guys. See ya.